What it is, what it do, what it is, lads and ladettes. It's your boy Dakota Griswold of Gamers, Nerds, and Geeks United. Welcome back to Yesterday Today. This, of course, is the show where I bring you some of the biggest gaming news that you may have missed from the Yesterday Today. Jumping right into it, just a little bit of the appetizers here, and this is a bit of a weird one. I want to start off with Mortal Kombat, but no, it's not more about DLC. It's about the fact that we can see Shao Kahn without his clothes and his armor. Now, before you go any further, it does look weird. He basically looks like a dragon crossed with human DNA. Now, we've seen his face somewhat without his armor before, but now we can see his entire body and kind of makes me itch. But this is exactly what I would think he looks like. You know, the sometimes ruler of NetherRealm. But, yeah, this is Shao Kahn. I will definitely post the link for you, lads and lads. It's actually making me itch right now. I will definitely post a link in the description for you, but it actually has him in his underwear. But this is the base model of what he actually looks like under the armor. And well, basically they went all out with it, and they did pretty freaking well. Honestly, I'm talking about his back. He got scales, but he still looks like a human crossed with a dragon. It's awesome and creepy looking at the same time, as you would think it is coming from a Mortal Kombat game. And moving on to the next piece of the appetizer. So remember back in the PS2 era, the glory era of the 3D mascot gameplay? Well, remember KO the Kangaroo? Some of you might not remember. Some people like me remember because I was maybe a teenager around this time. I never got a chance to play it, but there was a few games in this franchise. But with that said, there is a new game coming in the franchise. It's in the works by Tate Interactive. And they made a few of the games, so they're familiar with the franchise. So hey, look, I'm all for the 3D cutesy kind of character platformer, Yooka-Laylee, Ratchet and Clank, Jak and Daxter, and even Snake Pass. I haven't played Snake Pass, but I'm still kind of interested in playing it one day. But it's not on Game Pass, no pun intended. It's no longer on Game Pass, but I do kind of still want to play it. But KO the Kangaroo, and you know, a kangaroo with boxing gloves, punching stuff. Sure, why not? I don't know what the level of development this game will be on, like how big of a deal it is, but maybe $30. Who knows? It's far off. It's in early development, but it's happening. Moving on to the next story. So remember that basically Naughty Dog was, you know, they were kind of in some trouble. They were being accused of plagiarism. Well, Neil Druckmann definitely got ahead of that. It admitted to the faults, and he basically said Ellie's rendition of True Faith was inspired by Locke Kessner's haunting cover of the song. Due to an oversight on our end, she wasn't credited as intended. Our deep apologies. We are rectifying this ASAP. Way to get ahead of this. She called them out. And he definitely said, yo, we fixing this right now. So what they're doing is they're probably cutting a deal with her, maybe going to give her some royalty checks. They're just going to give her a check in general. But I really want to commend them for getting ahead of this and just admitting the blame. No fluff, no PR speak, just straight up, that's our bad, we're going to handle this. And I honestly love it. You know, The Last of Us doesn't need any more negative press, from the rumors to just people just saying, oh, I'm dropping out, you know. Now to this, it's whatever, man. Last of Us is basically a week away, and that's definitely how you handle it when your game is coming out very soon. Next up, on the 28th of August this year, an indie game that we saw last year is officially coming out, and it's being released on Nintendo Switch and the PS4. We originally saw this at an Indie Direct last year, and it is called Crosscode. It's a action-y game that's very similar with the isometric camera, basically like Zelda from back in the day, but it's also about 16-bit, and it's very RPG-ish when you can change armor and things like that. And it appeared to have some animal companions or something like that, and with an official announcement and campaign trailer, the game looks fun. But in this crowded year of bigger games, this game is probably something I would pick up and put on the shelf, because once I do have time, especially I'm getting on a Nintendo Switch, no question, Nintendo Switch Red here, and basically I would put it on the shelf, and once I have a chance, I'm going to play it. I like games like this. I'm a huge fan of Hyper Light Drifter, the Zelda likes, and making it more action-y. It looks like it's a lot of shooting and some awesome boss battles. I'm excited for this game, and it's a little too close to Tony Hawk and Avengers for me, and especially Cyberpunk, but I definitely will be picking this up, putting it on the shelf, and eventually playing it because I'm greatly, greatly interested in this game. Now, also, Borderlands has delayed their Guardian Breach update because they're supporting the Black Lives Matter movement. Now, honestly, I will say this, and I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist or anything, but hey, this is the perfect time for people to not look like jerks by supporting something very big and very important. While I appreciate it, but hey, listen, maybe they just needed a little bit of extra time, but who knows? The fact that they're saying they're supporting the Black Lives Matter and they want a little bit of silence, maybe they should have said that last week. But hey, I'll take it. I'll take it wherever. Maybe, do a little bit of a donation there, 2K Games. But also, I will say is I'm enjoying Borderlands 3. I definitely put it down a couple days ago. I'm not sure when I'll pick it back up, but I will pick it back up because I'm at least 40 hours in and I'm really, really enjoying it. Now, as far as the expansions go, not for me. I usually don't play DLC for most games, but I do plan on actually finishing the main story of the game. So definitely kudos to them. They're delaying stuff, and now I really understand why their season pass is like $40 to $50. They're cramming a lot in there. Definitely kudos to them, and definitely kudos to them for delaying stuff because of Black Lives Matter. Now, moving on. Now, you know what Arc System is. Arc System Works. They recently, in like the last decade, stepped up and revitalized fighting games. And especially for me, because I'm a guy who's not good at fighting games. In fact, I'm not really good at games. I just love games. But Arc System Works, I definitely play a lot of their fighting games simply because they made the controls simple enough for somebody like me who's not really good at these type of games to get in there, combo it up, and make you feel a little bit better about yourself. Yeah, I like to say these are self-esteem kind of engines, but they're doing some rearranging with certain people, and they're taking certain people off of certain game development and moving them around and to other places in the company because their stock is rising. So big shout out to Arxis. I wish them more luck. I would like a Dragon Ball FighterZ 2, but they're still supporting FighterZ 1, so that's awesome. I love Grand Blue Fantasy. Can't wait to see the new Guilty Gear. They're doing a thing, and I absolutely love it. Now, moving on to the last bit of the appetizer. So, the guy who's the composer for the No More Heroes, he's known as Kazuhiro Abo, or in this track, he's known as Mibi, and he basically collabed with a few rappers, one of them being Japanese, of course, and others, being American and speaking English, but there's a Japanese verse on his song, but it's to support what's going on in the world, and it's called Dear Friends. I listened to the song, and it's pretty good. I'm a hip-hop fan, but the production was definitely fire. I definitely give him credit for that because I'm a huge chill hop fan, and then, if you don't know what chill hop is, it's usually a mix of, some relaxing hip-hop, and sometimes you mix it, it's usually inspired by anime. A lot, like if you listen to Cowboy Bebop, it's kind of hip hop inspired, and there's actually some chill hop mixes out there like that. This is what this beat sounds like. I encourage you to go and hear it out. It's called Dear Friends. It's actually pretty good, and the production definitely, I want to say, is fire. But let's get into the real meat and potatoes of this video. And this is it shocking news, really? GameStop's revenue is in decline despite massive online sale gains. I, for one, have definitely started messing with GameStop heavy online because I really do love walking into GameStop and bonding with some of the people that work there and randomly talking to other customers. And me personally, I like bonding with the workers and eventually just going in and say, hey, can I take this steel case off the wall? But I definitely started messing with GameStop's online because of COVID-19, and I've been picking up more games, but they said their sales it's gone up over 500%, and yet it's still plummeting in stock, and they lost over $100 million. And how? Not sure, but even when they decided they was going to put my man Reggie Fils-Aimé on the team there. He's not the head of GameStop, but he's on the team over there. But hopefully things are opening up soon, especially out here in New York. We have entered phase 1, so things are slowly opening. I do believe some GameStops are open, but you're going to have to do curbside pickup. And listen, I don't want GameStop to go away. I like stores, that I can walk into and just look all day. Even if I don't buy anything, it's just the experience. And honestly, I have a friend, a very close friend of mine, who has a ritual where every few weeks he goes to GameStop with his son and he looks at games, and they pick a game and they play it together. And that's definitely awesome. And I really feel like places like GameStop have a place for people like us, gamers. And you know, GameStop gets so much hate, but they've tried to rectify that hate. But what they did in the beginning of COVID-19, deeming themselves essential and telling their employees to wrap plastic bags on their hands because they don't have gloves, that is pretty messed up. But these are the type of things that happen with corporations. I'm not justifying it, but there is still some good in GameStop. Moving on to the next story, and it seems that the next Call of Duty game might have leaked. We definitely need a plumber for the gaming industry this year because there are so many leaks. That's a terrible dad joke, but I will say is that, hey, listen, I'm happy. And if this is Black Ops is, of course, the next Call of Duty that I absolutely love. Back when I was in the early 2010s, when I was really still in love with Call of Duty, and I've revitalized my love for Call of Duty, of course, with Modern Warfare, as I've said before. And listen, this is the second or third time we've heard about the fact that they might be remaking Black Ops. And it looks like Call of Duty Black Ops logo, a guy by the name of James Kiwami, he leaked it. And listen, I'm definitely excited if this is absolutely happening. But I would also love to hear something about it very soon. And I think maybe by August, maybe July, we'll hear something about it. And yeah, that's probably around the same time we're going to get that certain part of the Spec Ops mode on Xbox that's stuck on PlayStation. Yeah, that's enough shade there. But I'm actually excited for Black Ops. They're going to revitalize it. Then, you know, it got me thinking. They have, about 3 to 4 studios going around in the cycle. So after Black Ops this year, does this mean we're possibly going to get a Modern Warfare 2 remake or sequel to whatever this Modern Warfare is right now? Listen, I want more Modern Warfare. I want more Call of Duty. And I would absolutely love Black Ops. Let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. Next up, I definitely want to talk about the fact that there is possibly another Far Cry. Go figure. We're going to be seeing another Far Cry game. Ubisoft is doing their thing. This year, at least, they're pretty crowded. They're still slated to have Gods and Monsters, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and Watch Dogs Legion. But I really do believe that we're only going to get Assassin's Creed Valhalla. We haven't really heard enough about any of these other games besides Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Shoot, we haven't even seen actual gameplay to Assassin's Creed Valhalla. They said they were going to show it to us, but they really didn't. They did, but they kind of didn't. And I would like to hear some about these other games. I'm honestly interested in Gods and Monsters. It actually looks like maybe a mature version of Kid Icarus. It really does kind of look like that. And I'm actually interested in it. And hopefully it doesn't look too close. But we're going to be getting a new Far Cry next year in February. I think that sounds about right, because isn't that when Far Cry New Dawn released? It released in maybe mid-February, was it? I believe it was last year. And this leak came from a Danish website called Game Reactor, and it's due to come out next February, and it's also not in America. It's going back to the tropical island setting. And hey, I love Far Cry 3, but I didn't really play many other Far Cries past that. I definitely played Far Cry 5, thought it was cool, but once I finished one area, got to the next area, it still felt like the same thing as the previous area. Nah, I wasn't really with that. They seem to get a little too repetitive, and everybody's like, oh, that's just the Far Cry formula, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, well, you know, even Call of Duty decided to, you know, let's start to do better. Let's remodel, let's remake. And they definitely did that. And hopefully we can see something fresh with Far Cry 6. And I'm very excited about it. Let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. Remember a couple months ago when there was the Nintendo security breach on people's accounts? Well, Nintendo confirmed that it has been over 160,000 hacks. People's accounts that got affected, and they've been contacting people directly. And man, that is a lot. That is a lot, and I really do, like, this is maybe the second or third time it's happened to Nintendo in maybe the last 2 years. Now, I do understand that it happens to the best of us. It happened to PlayStation, it happened to Xbox, where they took it down and a lot of hacks have happened, and they had to refund and give people money, but it's just, I guess this is just a lesson learned by Nintendo, especially going into next gen. Now, they haven't said anything about next gen as well as of yet, but I really do, given Nintendo's track record, I really do think that after we do get the PlayStation 5 and the Series X this year, around January-ish, maybe, we'll be hearing about the next Switch's, the Switch's successor, and it'll be maybe entering year 5. That is a long time. Year 4, getting ready to go into year 5. Yeah, I'm not gonna be doing math here. I'm not that great at math, but it's gonna be time. Maybe give us a new handheld that's 1080p handheld, 4K dock, maybe even close to 8K, because you know what, it would probably work. But that's not the issue. That's not the important issue here. Is the fact that so many people got hacked. Actually, it's 300 cases in total. I just really hope that Nintendo takes this, learn this lesson, and improves their security to make sure that people can trust them going forward. Because I absolutely love Nintendo, and I wouldn't want to have to not mess with Nintendo because I don't feel like my information is secure. Moving on to the next story, and this is pretty awesome. So the PlayStation 5 games event is this Thursday, but what is interesting is that Jeet Shuroff, the God of War engineering lead, he basically retweeted it and said, "Come join us as we get into the details about what the future has in store." Thinking emoji. I'm wondering if we're gonna see a new God of War or something like that. I'm absolutely sure that they're gonna make another God of War, given the fact that Cory Barlog has definitely confirmed, yes, we're going to make it. Yes, it's in early stages, but I really think we're gonna probably see a pinch of it, but we're not getting it until maybe the end of next year, 2021. And hey, look, I'm very happy, and I really feel like this is probably gonna be a trilogy, and it's gonna probably obsess some people. Second one, you're still playing with Kratos and Atreus. Honestly, I think you're gonna probably play as Atreus in this one. It's starting to sound very Last of Us-like, but you probably play as Atreus in the second one, and Kratos is there helping you, but you're more ferocious with Atreus. And in the third one, maybe Kratos dies. I don't know. I mean, we've gotten a lot of games with Kratos, and maybe it's time for somebody else to take the helm, but spoiler, something happens at the very end of the credits of the first one, and I really know where they're going to lead to this one. And I would love to see the game basically pick up from where that ends and give us something right now. Honestly, I couldn't be more excited for the PlayStation 5 and the game reveals. And we've been hearing about Horizon Zero Dawn, maybe Spider-Man, but this is looking in a good, leaning in a good way of getting us some new God of War. And I couldn't be more excited. This is getting me more excited. It's literally one day away, happening at 4 p.m. Eastern time, and yeah, I can't wait. And last but not least, we got some fresh Destiny content. The stream happened, and basically we definitely got the expansion that everybody was waiting for. It officially launched just yesterday, the Seasons of Arrivals, and then they also announced that there is more content coming in September and more all the way up to 2022. So don't expect to hear about Destiny 3 yet, but Bungie, since they're by themselves and they don't have Activision holding them down anymore, they're doing their thing. And honestly, I really think I want to get back into Destiny. I haven't really played it since Destiny 2 launched. And I thought Destiny 2 was a very, very fun game, but it still lacked in the beginning. And I haven't played since the big expansion came out. But yeah, I'm kind of thinking maybe after The Last of Us, or maybe in between, I'll probably jump back into Destiny and grind it out, because I love first-person shooters, and the shooting in that game is just absolutely superb. Now, I don't know if I'll be able to jump in for every expansion, but Destiny 1, I played through every expansion and definitely enjoyed it. And I love the grind. I love the loot. It's absolutely fun. So, I don't know. Is there some Guardians out there? Are y'all some fans? Let me know down in the comments below. But also, lads and ladettes, thank you for watching. Please, give your boy a like if you like. And if not, it's all good. Hit the dislike. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell and press all so you know when your boy is posted. Lads and ladettes, thank you so much for watching. This video is finito.